What's going on, fellas? This is Seabass Crew, and I'm going to do something completely new that I didn't do before. We're talking about the E3 conferences. Now, I didn't watch Microsoft's, but I did watch Sony's and Nintendo's Direct as well. But Microsoft, I don't know what they're doing with the Xbox One. I just don't know what they're doing with the Xbox One. I don't know why. But anyway, let's go with Sony's E3 conference. Sony's E3 was actually pretty okay, to say the least. I mean, the first half was extremely boring, a snore fest. It was absolutely boring. Probably the most boring first half I've ever seen at any conference. But they basically talk about the PS Vita and the PS3. It's like, who cares? The PS Vita is done. It's done, I'm sorry. It is finished. There's not really any good games out for the PS Vita, as far as we know. But let's go on with the PS3. They showed The Last of Us, which I really don't understand why they showed it after it's coming out Friday. I don't get the point why they showed The Last of Us. And it's already been reviewed by many reviewers and review sites as well. And people now own the game. They pre-ordered it pretty much. I don't know why they showed The Last of Us. That was just kind of a waste of time. Then they showed all this TV and social media bullcrap. Like, you can watch Flickster. We have Flickster on PS3. We have Redbox Instant on PS3. We have Skype on the PS Vita. Who cares about Skype? I don't care about Skype. I don't care about social media. They were pulling on Microsoft. Thank God the second half got progressively better. It really did. They showed off Ready at Dawn and Santa Monica Studios' project, The Order. And that actually looked... It wasn't really a gameplay trailer. It was more like in-game cinematics. And it looked okay. It really wasn't mind-blowing by any chance. The CG, I mean, it was the CG trailer, so what more can I say there? Now, Infamous Second Son, that got me hyped. I was completely hyped for Infamous Second Son, because I'm a huge Infamous fan. I love the first one. The first one was so much fun to play. I played the demo, the second one, and I need to play the second one. But Infamous is one of my favorite PS3 franchises, and Infamous Second Son, I mean, the way that the guy was teleporting and that he entered these guys' bodies and, teleporting through them and stuff, teleporting back and forth and flying, I think that's going to be badass to see. I mean, it's basically, Cole McGrath's not the character main anymore. He's not the main character, the main protagonist of the series. It's, I guess it's maybe Cole McGrath's son, I guess, maybe. And he inherited his powers pretty much. I don't know. I haven't played Infamous 2 yet, so I don't know how, this is going to lead to the Infamous Second Son. But as far as the trailer goes, it was a really good trailer. I actually was really hyped for it. So that was a plus for Sony right there to show that game. Now, what else did they show? They actually gave indie developers the spotlight. They put them right on stage and say, here, show off your little projects, show off everything. Unlike Microsoft, that has restrictions for the indie games. Yep. At the Microsoft conference, did you see any indie games there? Not really. Do you want to know why? Because they have closed publishing. Their console, the Xbox One, allows closed publishing. That means that publishers cannot self-publish their games on the Xbox One. They have to have Microsoft's permission. But anyway, they got the indie developers on stage, and they showed their games. Transistor looked like a really cool game. Very innovative and unique. I think it was a side-scroller or a top-down game, I guess. I can't remember. But they showed a lot of indie games, which look really nice, actually. They had showed Don't Starve, which is also on PC. Some of the stuff... The thing that was really disappointing about it was most of those indie games were coming to PC anyway. So it was really kind of like not really a huge thing. But for Sony to give them the spotlight, that was really cool to see. And then, holy crap, this took me by complete surprise. Final Fantasy Versus 13 being changed to Final Fantasy 15. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 coming to PS4. Not exclusive, because it was confirmed that it's not. It was confirmed after the E3, but after a few more hours after the E3, it's confirmed it's multi-plat, which is not a bad thing because the Nintendo console can possibly do Kingdom Hearts 3 really good. With the gamepad, I think there's a lot of potential for like selecting your items and stuff, and shooting your attacks on the gamepad would be really cool to see. But that game looked amazing, and so did Final Fantasy 15, and that really shocked me because I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. I played Final Fantasy 8 on like a demo disc pretty much, and it was fun. It had probably one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in a video game. But overall, I thought that was a really good thing for Squaresoft to do that, and they definitely redeemed themselves. They definitely redeemed themselves because of all the BS that people talk about Squaresoft and their, paying for online, paying for certain things, and their Final Fantasy 13 was absolute dog shit. But definitely Squaresoft definitely redeemed themselves. I'm gonna say that right there. And let's see, what else did they show? They showed their Kingdom Hearts 3, and they kicked Microsoft straight in the nuts. They pretty much exposed them for what they are. They said, straight up, Jack Tretton of Sony said, we're not going to block used games. We're not going to use DRM. You can go online anytime you want. You don't have to have already online 24 hours a day. And you don't have to, you can sell your games. You can sell your used games. You can lend it to a friend. You can sell it to GameStop. You can keep it forever. That was pretty awesome. For them just to expose and embarrass Microsoft right on stage. That was absolutely cool, freaking hilarious to see. I was laughing. I was just so excited because I was really skeptical if they were going to do this used game DRM bullshit. But they didn't. And I'm thanking God they did not do that. Thank God they did not do what I thought they were going to do. But they shouldn't have done it in the first place. It was a rumor that it was going to happen, but thank God it didn't happen. So the PS4, it's not going to use it supports used games. It's not going to use DRM. You don't have to go online once a day in order to play your games, which is stupid on my part. That business practice that Microsoft did. But once again, Microsoft's not here for gaming. They're not. They're not here for gaming. They're here to scam gamers out of their wallets. That is their main purpose. But anyway, after they showed that, they really kind of just, biggest disappointment of this conference was they were very slick, very, it was like stumbling over their words when they said this. And they said it so fast that because people were so psyched about what they were doing with the used game DRM deal that they weren't going to support it. You have to have a PlayStation Plus in order to play online multiplayer. You have to have PlayStation Plus in order to play online multiplayer. That is inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable. Why would Sony do that? Why would they even think about putting the paid online? After PSN is free already, why, in the love of God, would they use the PlayStation Plus to play online games? That makes no sense whatsoever. So that really kind of pissed me off. But I didn't really hear it that much because they stumbled over it. Like, they really did not want to say it. They were, but they had to. That was their decision, and they were going to make PlayStation Plus. In order for you to play your online multiplayer, you have to pay in order to play. First off, I don't even like that business practice in the first place. If you buy a game, you have every right to play online for free. Every right. It doesn't matter if you pay for it in order for the online to be good. You have no reason to pay in order to play online. Now, for Sony's, this is kind of this kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense. Because they're shutting down all their headquarters and they're in huge debt, so they really need the money. So I guess it's kind of an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time. But that really was the biggest disappointment of this conference, for sure, is hearing that. That was a really big disappointment. But then they showed Destiny, which was Bungie's and Activision's game. And Bungie and Activision are teaming up, which is actually pretty surprising. And it really kind of felt like a Halo and a Call of Duty and a Battlefield mixed together. I mean, it was a cool idea. Like, the way the graphics look, the lighting effects look spectacular in that game. I was truly just blown away by how that game looked on screen. It really showed what the PS4's potential is, and that how much it can do. So overall, Sony's E3 was actually pretty decent for the most part. Like, the first half was absolutely boring, a snore fest, and it was pulling on Microsoft, and I was like hoping they weren't going to do that. But thankfully they did. As the second half got a little better, except to play online, you had to pay for PlayStation Plus. That was the biggest disappointment of the conference. But overall, I'd say it was a pretty decent conference. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it was okay. Much better than Microsoft's, but it was it just didn't cut it. You know, there wasn't any big surprises other than Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15. That took me by surprise. I didn't see that coming. But we already knew Infamous Second Son was coming out. We already knew Destiny. We already knew, we probably didn't know the order, so that was kind of another surprise there, but not necessarily a huge surprise. But everything else. And they showed Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, and, you know, all the multiplats and things of that nature. There were a few exclusives, but they kind of did better than Microsoft. But I think the best part of the conference was them exposing Microsoft's business practice as bullshit. That right there totally just was the most entertaining part of that conference, was watching them do that. Jack Tretton, he's a D-bag, a lot of people say, but he definitely deserves props for exposing Microsoft right on stage. But anyway, that's really all I gotta say about the Sony E3 conference. Pretty decent. Now I'm gonna talk about the Nintendo Direct in another video. So look forward to that, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.